What's up YouTube, PokePrimer here, primarily to deliver you an update on PFL Minor League for Week 7. Um, as you see, the team builder just went up not too long ago, so you guys can see the team that we were going to bring in the matchup. As for the matchup itself, you will not be seeing that because there was a DC that happened right near the end of the battle, and at that point it was really difficult to recreate because we didn't like have memorized all of the plays and steps and whatnot that we made going through the matchup. So it was a matter of us just trying to recreate the best we could, and we couldn't. We didn't really think about it, so we came to a decision on it. And we'll get to that when we get there, but I wanted to kind of give you guys a rundown as to what went down in the battle so you guys know how the battle went at least have some form of knowledge of like what happened in the match. So without further ado, let's get into it. I have my notes from the battle. I don't take too many notes usually, but I wrote down like the kills and whatnot, so I can kind of recollect in my mind a little bit of what went down, so you guys know. As you know, for the team builder, we brought Thundurus, Megalopunny, Skuntank, Gothitelle, Kyurem, and Swampert. My opponent decided to bring the Jellicent, Ferrothorn, Starmie, Crobat, Hoopa, and Landorus. So, pretty tough-looking team that he brought against us, but I knew we had a lot of things prepared to handle all of these threats. Right off the bat, I was looking at it. Thundurus is looking pretty nice in this matchup with Crobat. We could paralyze, and the Jellicent and Starmie both, which we could either paralyze or just OHKO with Thunderbolts. The Ferrothorn was kind of a threat because we didn't really have too much for it, but I'm pretty sure we had HP Fire on our Kyurem, so if we could predict that appropriately in the right situation, we could catch that thing off guard. So that would be kind of cool, but yeah, so there's that. So right off the bat, a couple turns went by, and it ended up with Thundurus against... Thundurus had taken a little bit of damage, and he was against the Jellicent. And Thundurus goes for a Thunderbolt. Jellicent takes a huge chunk of damage, but it ends up being a specially defensive Jellicent, which is really good planning on his part, knowing that the Thundurus is a huge offensive threat to that Mon in particular. Allowed him to live that hit and hit us back with an Ice Beam, which he ended up killing our Thundurus with. So right off the bat, we're starting off 6-5. Thundurus dropping to Jellicent. Bring in Megalopunny for the attempt to revenge it. That was my goal. And immediately he picked up on that, used Ferrothorn the way he should use Ferrothorn, as a kind of a counter to Megalopunny. Not really much of a counter because it will die, but switched into the Fake Out, which we took a large amount of damage from that. And essentially, we ended up almost killing ourselves because between Rough Skin, Rocky Helmet damage that we took from the Ferrothorn from the Fake Out, and then the same amount that we took after the High Jump Kick that did kill the Ferrothorn. So we're back tied up, but Megalopunny's down really low. We were down to like about 50-some HP. Really low. But, so that happened. And immediately, he brings in his Starmie, and I'm like, alright, well, I wasn't thinking he'd be Scarfed, because he might need it as a spinner, but it turns out he did decide to Scarf it, and it does outspeed us, and Dazzling Gleam the fuck out of us, so that was kind of cool. Scarf Starmie is actually a really interesting set. It was kind of cool to see that in the match. I'm going to Skuntank in an attempt to revenge it, because I know I can take any hit from the Starmie. He decides to actually swap out and use his Jellicent as death fodder. So again, we are tied up once again, 4-4. So the matchup is definitely quick, punch for punch for punch. So really cool action going on there. From there, in comes the Crobat, which is kind of cool, which is kind of alright. I'm not too worried about the Crobat, but turns out that Crobat actually was banded. It was a jolly banded Crobat. It needed to be banded in order to kill my Skuntank, and immediately goes for Brave Bird and blows Skuntank off the field. So right off the bat, that was something I immediately picked up on. So it's like, all right, cool. Now we're back down 4-3. I need to do something. I need to do something that can bring us back in this matchup. And then it hit me. I have a Kyurem Black. What more crazy shit do you need than a Kyurem Black to bring you out of the hole in a matchup? Nothing. Kieran Black is a monster, and it does what monsters do. Tears shit up. So I immediately bring out Kieran Black. I know I'm scarfed, so I know I'm going to outspeed this banded Crobat. So I go for an Outrage, finish off the Crobat. After the recoil and everything, it was down to about half. Finish off the Crobat, get it gone. Great. In comes the Starmie, and I'm like, oh crap, I'm locked in. This thing's gonna go for a Dazzling Gleam and do decent damage, which it did. It did a huge chunk of damage. It did about 75%. But at this point, I wasn't too worried about it because we did take the hit, and the Outrage one-shots the Starmie. So right off the bat, that's 2 kills for Kieran. Great. However, at this point, I know we're going to die to just about anyone coming in, and we're locked into Outrage because of the Scarf, and we're confused because we got the 2-turn Outrage there. So we were confused, and that kind of sucks. In comes the Landorus. I'm like, I don't know. I know Gothitel's not gonna take a whatchamacallit, it's definitely Gothitelle was not going to take a Earthquake nicely. So that's not good. So I couldn't go out into Gothitelle. I knew Gothitelle, even though it was scarfed, we weren't EV'd appropriately to outspeed a Landorus Therian. So that was kind of a mistake on my part. I should have had it prepared to do so. But again, we probably wouldn't take Earthquake anyway on switching. So that's a thing. So I decided to swap out into our Swampert, who does take the Earthquake really nicely. Takes about 40 to 45% from the Earthquake. We're able to get off his Scald the following turn after taking a second Earthquake. Bring the Landorus down really low. I was kind of hoping for the burn. If we got the burn, we would have guaranteed our victory at that point. But the Landorus is then able to just take out our Swampert with the Earthquake. And at this point, this is where the DC happened. Right after Swampert goes down, the DC goes down. So we had to sit down and discuss it afterwards because we were so far in the battle, and we were literally like 2 turns away from it being over. Based upon my calcs, we were 2 turns away from it being over. We really discussed it with Scott, and we determined that based upon the play that I was going to make, that I was going to win. What my plan is the Landorus is down now at about less than 10%. I was going to go out into Cure him and just click Outrage. Outrage would finish off the Landorus, even if the Landorus switched out and used the Hoopa for Death Fodder, wouldn't matter. And intimidated Kieran Black is still going to do well over 10% to a Landorus. So at this point, 2 Outrages would have won us the match. Would have finished off the Landorus and absolutely blown back the Hoopa as soon as it came in. So and we also kind of determined that even if the Hoopa was sashed, which he confirmed that it wasn't, even if the Hoopa was sashed, we would be able to finish it off because our Gothitelle was EV'd appropriately to outspeed a Hoopa. Not outspeed, it was speed tying with the Hoopa. And with that, we were going to be able to outspeed it, and then if it was sashed, we would be able to kill it immediately, and that would be great. That'd be great, awesome, fantastical. But yeah, so that was the match. So we do end up coming out of this 6-1. Really good record so far. Moving on to our Week 8 matchup, we are having our rematch against Adam and the Palm Coast Pidgeots. So look forward to that. The Team Builder will be coming up later today. The Team Builder and Battle will be coming up later today. I'm bulk uploading so I can get all of these videos out of my computer and off my hard drive so that I can, start to upload the battles as they happen on a regular basis so that you guys aren't blown up by stuff. Like, if I have the battle, I can upload it, that day, So that's cool. So, yeah. That's about all I got for today, guys. You'll see some of the other battles coming up. There's a lot of things going on these days, so just keep your eyes peeled and looking for that. But, yeah, I'm going to get out of here. Until next time, guys, I'm PokePrimer, signing off.